Oh, I got plenty more of these.
Eleanor Williams has been sentenced to 8.5 years in jail at Preston Crown Court for 9 counts of perverting the course of justice. The 22-year-old from Barrow-in-Furness alleged she had been groomed, trafficked and beaten by an Asian grooming gang. In May 2020, Williams posted the allegations on Facebook alongside photos of her injuries, but the court heard that she had caused them to herself with a hammer she's seen here at a Tesco in Barrow buying the tool.
These photographs were very graphic and bound to produce a significant response. In that post, she referred to these having been inflicted by 3, as she put it, Asian men, as they took her to various sex parties. In that same post, she referred to having been similarly abused by Asian men and men of Pakistani origin in various locations across the north of England for a number of years.
Her claims led to a huge outburst of public anger in the Cumbrian town, and the court was told 151 extra crimes took place following the social media post, including 83 hate crimes. The allegations attracted the attention of former English Defence League leader Tommy Robinson. Businesses shut and residents left their homes because of the public displays of anger.
We've had the far right move into town, and that is a direct result of the protests that happened during the lockdown period as a result of what Ellie said, and they haven't gone away yet. So we've got a whole host of problems we've still got to deal with as a result of this.
The court heard that 3 of the men Williams targeted tried to take their own lives because of the false accusations made against them. She accused 43-year-old Mohammed Ramzan of trafficking her to Amsterdam and to this hotel in Blackpool, which, in reality, she had travelled to alone.
You don't understand until you're actually being accused of this. You don't know what it actually means. And the impact is only when you'll actually live in it. That does then worry you for your own safety. You're worried as a father and a husband, protecting your family, protecting ourselves, protecting your businesses and protecting us all from danger.
22-year-old Jordan Trengove had the word rapist spray painted on his house. He spent 73 days in prison whilst awaiting trial, sharing a cell with a convicted sex offender charged on the basis of Williams's false claims.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed on this video or any video, including the Writers for Life brings you to Let's Talk About It podcast, do not reflect on the opinions of y'all Shorty, Rachel, and the members of the Writer for Life podcast. Everything we talk about is allegedly and is our opinion. Our videos are not recommended for minors. Everything we talk about and do is meant for educational purposes and also entertainment. Please keep in mind that the majority of our videos are for educational purposes only. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch, thinking that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one.
Days in prison whilst awaiting trial, sharing a cell with a convicted sex offender charged on the basis of Williams's false claims.
I didn't want to be alive. I said to my own mum, I'm going to come out of prison in a box because I can't do this. I've done nothing wrong and I'm being treated like I have. So what's the point in being here? You know what I mean? I was so scared that I was going to get so many years over my head that for something that I didn't do. And now I've just got to make a positive out of this and try and get some help out there for people who, like myself, have been to prison for something that they haven't done.
Concerns have been raised about the impact this case will have on victims of trafficking and sexual violence and also on the police.
There's a group of people here who genuinely believe that she has been hard done by, and that she was telling the truth and that the police were lying. And trying to unpick that is really difficult. And we've got a piece of work to do with that, but we've just got to try and do everything we can to make sure that the police are honest and straight and that people can trust them. And that's what I'm focused on. I know from speaking to Cumbria Police is what they're focused on too.
We are aware that sex trafficking of young females does occur. there is a risk that genuine victims will, as a result of this defendant's actions, feel deterred from reporting it. People may be less likely to believe their allegations. I'm sure that those charged with investigating such offences will do all in their power to avoid any reluctance to investigate such allegations.
In a letter to the judge following her conviction, Williams said, "I'm not saying I'm guilty, but I know I have done wrong on some of this, and I'm sorry."
All right, so there's a reason I showed this video. Listen, I don't know what crosses through females' heads. Whoa, what happened? Let me fix this. All right, I got everybody. I'm trying to. I don't know what crosses through females' heads when they want to just when they decide to sit here and falsely accuse a man of doing something. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Like, I don't know if a lot of women realize that they end up ruining a lot of these men's lives. See, I got a son, I got a daughter, and me personally, I went through something like this. And for those of y'all that don't know, like, the father of my daughter was falsely accused. I mean, the father of both my kids, my boys, was falsely accused of statutory rape. So I have a very big problem because this is something that really does mark them, and it's something that once it hits their record, it's not easy to get off. Like, I don't know if us women have a problem with no rejection or what it is, but it seems to only happen when a woman doesn't get her way. And that's my opinion. That's how I feel. That's what I've seen. I don't know how y'all feel and what y'all think. And this is why this panel is here. I feel as though that women that say that a man that any of the above should be behind bars, should deal with the consequences.
Yep, agree with you, but also at the same time, that if a guy did the same thing as the girl, basically falsely accusing, then the guy should be in jail and the girl should be in jail, because both genders, doesn't matter what gender you are, if you're falsely accusing someone of doing something they never did, and if it ruins their life, then they should be in jail, because they're not just wasting time, they're wasting resources on actual serious crimes that could actually be seriously solved, though, and actual victims that could actually really, really, really need the help, though. Basically, them people are actually ruining it for everybody else.
That's a fact. How do you feel? Let's talk with Love.
I feel the same way. I feel like that is horrible. It used to be a lot of that going on in the world. It kind of calmed down a little bit, but back in the days, it was bad. It was really, really bad. With the Black community, it was bad because a lot of Caucasian women was doing that to the Black men, and now that you can actually they doing something about it now. I feel like that if the woman or the man falsely accused, whoever they falsely accuse, and they go to court and they give them a trial and they sentence them. If they sentence them to 20 years and then they go back and find out that the woman lied, I feel like they should give that woman that same time that man should have that man was going to do.
And that's a fact.
Yes, because it's sickening. Because what if he have a job, a family? You know what I'm saying? People gonna start looking at him different. He gonna lose his job. It's gonna be bad. And if they find out before with 70 days or whatever, but still, if they gave him 20 years and they find out that he's innocent within 70 days, whoever falsely accused them, they need to do that 20 years, because that's a big word. That R word is bad. That's a bad word right there.
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
So you ready for a story time?
Go ahead.
Like, guys, if y'all want to come up, I would love to hear males' perspectives on this. So y'all more than welcome to come up and give y'all opinions, y'all perspectives, and much more. But I personally know somebody that's behind bars right now to this day because of a whole fuck up situation. Sorry to say it like that. This person I knew personally because I used to date him when I was a teenager. That was actually my first crush, as y'all could call it, puppy love. So this is my kid's godmom's brother. When we was younger, my sister, so as y'all can see, my baby dad is not the first person she accused of rape. And she just got away with it like nothing. This boy, she accused him of the same shit. He went behind bars. We was able to prove his innocence. Yeti yeti. She confessed to the judge that she lied. Much more, blah blah blah. He came out, right? But you know that once you're in there, the streets talk. You see where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
A little while after he comes out, somebody else accuses him of the same shit. But this time it's worse. You want to know why? Because now it's a mom saying that he did it to a baby. Now it's curtains. He's going right back after he just came home maybe a year ago.
Oh, wow.
A
Oh,
year
wow,
ago.
man.
And mind you, he was never near this baby. So the crazy part about it is, how can you prove it? He dated the girl, yes, but he was never around that baby. It was always with the mom. I don't know if y'all understand me. She's them type of girls. Mom's the one raising
I understand.
He's out there doing whatever
Mhm.
she do, blah, 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 blah. Listen, they broke up. Shit went sideways. He got accused of this. And now because of the case that he had a year earlier, the judge looked at it as like, oh, wait, this has to be true. It's a pattern now. So that's how they looked at the situation. Now it's hard for him to come home because the simple fact that he's supposed to do, good in jail, blah, 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 when it's time for his probation to come. He gave it up. You want to know why? He kept going in the hole. You know what he's in there for? Do you know what he has to defend his life for? It's not easy when you're in there with them type of charges.
Exactly.
When don't drop.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think that really literally mean that. I know people take it as a joke. We play around with it. But when he tells me the stories, when he was telling me each and every one of those stories that when he was going in there, how he had to defend himself. At one time, he said, fuck it, I'm about to give up. I'm confused. I don't know what I should be. Should I, go that way because it's all they want from me in here? So it's like, we all trying to tell him, like, no, don't, like, it's just your head playing with you. Like, we know you're tired. But it's not easy. And basically, his whole life been in jail. Behind what? Domestic and rape accusations.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, man. Wow. And that's anyway.
Jacket. That really does ruin a man's jacket. So imagine if a man has kids. And all because a female couldn't get her way.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's
Because once you do go in the prison or even the jail and you go with that R word, they are going to do you dirty in there.
yeah. Wait, but isn't it also in jail if you have them charges when the other prisoners come attack you or pretty much kill you for it anyway? So wow, man, that's terrible. Oh my God.
I know that stuff like this happened more when we was, younger, and it happened back in the days, but I'm starting to see it happen a lot now with our younger women. My son was in school. My son goes to a private school.
Mm-hmm.
Son. He calls it his girlfriend. I say a little girl that he met and might, pass and might, stay. We don't know. So this little girl was real jealous, and I'm saying, I'm like, the only thing she should be jealous of is the goddamn computer. Not no other kid, not no other little girl out here. But basically, she was with the jealousy to the point where she put her hands on my son. My son ended up smacking the crap out of her in front of everybody. My son said to me, I'm tired of these women acting like they're boys, like they're men. I'm tired of them doing this and doing that, and they can get away with it, and we can't. I was like, I understand the situation, but I was like, you didn't learn from the last situation, did you? So I understand that us females is hard-headed, but if a man goes to jail for putting his hands on us, shouldn't we go to jail for putting our hands on them?
Yes, correct. Wait, but then when they also claim self-defense in a way though, but yeah, I get you though. I'm agreeing with you.
Blessings, nitty gritty. Blessings, the word. Maritza, blessings. How you doing? What do you think? How do you feel?
How do I feel? I think just reading off your title, if I feel if a woman or a man should, well, a woman should be held accountable just like as a man for lying, I think they should throw them underneath the bus. A lie, it's something like that is that, like Sister Love was saying, that leaves a mark on somebody's record.
Facts.
For lies. So I feel that they should be held accountable just like if a man lied.
You know what's crazy? You know why I brought this topic up? When I spoke about it the other day, and I found my little picture on my Facebook and stuff, and we was all talking about it like over here. I sat here and I know a lot of women is gonna get mad at me about this, but you know what? I really don't care. I know I'm not wrong, maybe, but deep down my gut is telling me that us as women, we can get away with a lot of shit, especially with the power of the P. A lot of women can get a lot of men killed for falsely doing shit. I've seen so many. I've heard so many stories from people that I know. Let's put it like this: of reasons why people that I know that have been around them. Why do I have to sit here and visit a funeral? Well, you know, this girl started all this drama. He came over here, and you know, boom! Now there's a bullet in his head, all because he was defending, you know, the girl that he liked. I'm sitting here like, oh, here we go. That he said, she said bullshit. Like, fuck, when the hell are we gonna be over with that shit? Like, does that seem fair? Like,
nope.
Real about it.
Nope.
Help, and then the next minute they in jail. Or they in a casket.
I feel they should put them on the same. They should charge him with serious charges for lying.
Yep.
Not just just taking the issue. They should further investigate.
Yeah. That's just investigation. Them people should be charged with manipulation charges and very much false accusation charges. They should be in jail for at least more than a long time though. Let's say like a decade or something. I don't know. I'm being nice. I don't know.
You said I'm being nice. Yeah, that's why I said, is there any men out down there that would love to come up on the panel and, you know, give their perspectives, their real opinions? No, Young Rios is young. Young Rios hasn't been through them trenches. That's why I say it like that. Young Rios is so young. So, like, for those of y'all that don't know, Young Rios is what? He just turned 22 or is turning 22?
Nearly 22. So when December time comes, I will be 22.
Still a baby. In my eyes. I'm sorry, in my eyes.
No, it's cool. I understand that.
So if there's any real men up there that, you know, they're not scared, they're not shy to come up and give their perspective, like, speak on it. Let's talk about it. If not, we just continue with the conversation. And it just be all females, a one-sided conversation.
Right.
I can give a younger person's perspective, basically.
Yeah. No, you gave a good perspective for somebody that hasn't been through it at all. Oh, shit. Put the wrong hat on.
Yeah.
So you gave a good perspective. I wish a lot more younger people, I wish we thought like that when we was younger.
Right. I just think it's very sick. I just think it's sad, it's sick, because it's a lot of people that's in prison right now for probably the same thing and more, you know, and they still sitting in there and they probably done did 20 years. I done seen plenty things where people have been locked up for over 20 years for a crime that they did not commit at all, and it took them 20 years to figure it out. I feel like that they need to do more investigations and stuff like that, so them people don't have to spend 20 years in there and they didn't even do it. They found out they didn't do it. Some people they pay them, but paying you, it ain't even the amount of money. If I got to do 20 years for something I ain't do, because prison life is not no life for nobody.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Especially when you in there, you didn't do it.
Yeah.
For them, they accused for something like that, they go through it the worst.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, I understand. Because, like, listen, I know two people personally that went in there for being falsely accused of something that they didn't do. And when you get accused of a minor, I think they get the worst than, doing something to an adult woman, or an adult man.
Yep. Especially when it's a child.
They have to sit there and really fight for their life.
Yeah. And also pretty much you're pretty much not just ruining the person's life, you're pretty much mentally scarring them for a long period of time. And that's something in a way when them people do it, it's something the person who got falsely accused will never recover from. Not never, but they won't recover from something like that because they're scarred so badly.
Facts. So what type of solutions do you think that we can bring to the table to avoid situations like this? Like, I think I'm gonna have a all-male panel where they could talk about it, because it's all women with young Riaz. It's just that he's young and he hasn't been, through none of this, or witnessed none of this. It's kind of crazy. But he is giving great perspectives.
Absolutely.
That's why he's up here.
The solution to it is going to be hard, really.
Do you think a law should be changed, or?
Yeah, a law should be changed, and then a solution. The solution is really not going to be no solution, because when a crime like that happened with the R word, okay, especially with a child, you got to remember that the officers is just regular people with a uniform and a badge.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get somebody, because they watching the family cry, they watching the family go crazy. At that point, when they accuse the person, even if that person didn't do it, that officer wants to get somebody.
And he doesn't care who. Yeah. We've seen that in Law and Order.
I have seen it before, but the officer wants to get somebody for that horrible crime. They do. I have seen it. Officers is crooked cops and everything in the world. A lot of them people that's locked up now for those types of crimes is because the officer then planted some stuff and did some stuff. The evidence have to be there. The crime might be bad, but the evidence need to be there 100%. It need to be checked, not just by the officers that was on the scene, but another set of officers should come back and check that. It need to be double checked.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody else is saying that. See, I'm not the only one. I thought I was going crazy when everybody's like, "Oh, you tripping? They doing their job." No, they not doing their job completely. They doing half a job. They slack.
Right.
Yeah. Pretty much they should actually do a more thorough investigation with strict supervision, basically, with them type of things. Like when a false claim is there, they should thoroughly investigate it, and supervision has to be really strict. So there's no tampering, there's no corruption, nothing like that. And pretty much, the claim is investigated, and if it's true, then it's charged. If it's false, then the person who falsely accused that person should be arrested.
So let me ask you this: why do y'all think that the law is so fast to arrest a man for, being accused of something than what they would a woman?
Because in a way, some way though, because the man in a way though is physically stronger, and in a way though, I don't know, just something to do with sense. I don't know. I think though, is it because in some way a woman's actually less physically stronger, and the way a woman talks and the way she speaks and the way she shows her face, her body expression and her facial expression actually is very convincing to almost anyone. So if a woman can actually do that, though, that actually shows you how convincing she can be. Even when she's wrong, she can find a way to convince you like that.
You talk about manipulation.
I just feel like that's just the way of the world, how the world is set up.
Mm-hmm. because I feel as though, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel as though us women get away with the same shit that a man would get arrested within hours or minutes.
But see, if y'all know the story of Emmett Till, have you ever heard of the
Mm-hmm.
Emmett Till story, Riders?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see how that story went. And that lady lied on Emmett Till. Them people took him and beat him to death. They took her word with basically no evidence. They had evidence that he didn't do it, but they took her word.
I think they had a warrant for that lady too and everything, but they didn't go for it.
They didn't. Yeah,
They
did
lied in
nothing
the court.
happen.
Yep, they lied in the court and everything. So
Yes,
that means that at one point they did have the evidence against her, but it's because I guess who you like, privilege. I'm not sure.
right.
Yeah.
And they just remember before she died, right, but they have leaked her address, her Facebook page. Them people went crazy on her.
Yeah, she was getting email threats and everything.
Yes. So
She
it's
that
it's
shit.
just the way of the world. That's just how the world has been set up for
Yeah.
years.
It's like right now the R. Kelly situation.
Right. That's
Like
a good
Yeah.
topic.
people are misunderstanding certain bloggers, and I understand certain bloggers where they coming from because it's kind of like I get where y'all saying like it's about the law. Y'all not bringing up the pedophilia or what happened back then. Y'all bringing up the circumstances of how he got arrested. Not all of them are on that type of, but others are like he should be. But you know what's crazy? I feel as though I don't care that he's arrested right now for the simple fact he deserved it because he got away freely from the first time. But arrest him for that. But they can't arrest him for something he got away the first time. It's crazy as shit. So they try him and find another way. But then that fucks it up for the real men out here in the urban community.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
sir.
the R. Kelly,
Basically, sorry, I was gonna say there's this guy in the UK. He's a rapper, and his name's Solo 445, and he's like the UK version of R. Kelly. That's the UK version. He's the UK version of R. Kelly, basically, and he's serving the same sentence now as R. Kelly now, 30 years.
Yeah, but that's not why R. Kelly got arrested.
You know what? Yes, sir.
So if y'all gonna arrest somebody, arrest them for the reason that he's being arrested for. Not sit here and lie to the world, make the world think he's here because it is, but in reality, y'all got him here because of something else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole point, because that could just happen to anybody. What if it happens to somebody you love, somebody you care about?
right. The R. Kelly situation is a little hard because these children the parents brought their children to this man.
They should be behind bars with him.
Yes, sir.
Because it would be no way whatsoever that my children, and somebody wanted them to come sing R. Kelly, I don't care who you is, I'm not moving out the spot. We're gonna be sitting here singing together. You hear me? I'm not you can't leave her here. I can't go to the store. She need to go with me. So that right there is if he done it, whatever he done, because we don't know what happened.
Okay.
Something deep. That's what I'm saying. Like we wouldn't want it to happen to any of our loved ones. Like imagine that situation. So I get it. Like like certain bloggers are speaking on it, and I'm like, yo, you know what? You're right. So I understand why you're bringing up R. Kelly. So I'm not mad at you. I just wish that other people would understand the perspective that you're trying to give us. Where you're coming from. Because I understand.
Yes, correct. And also the reason why I find that Solo 445 was found guilty. This is like 2020 music. He was found guilty of 21 R-word, 5 counts of false imprisonment, 2 counts of assault by penetration, and 2 actual bodily harm in the court or something. So that was like 2021.
You know what he deserves? He deserves 7 feet underground, not them bars.
Yep, that's 24 years, I think. Yeah.
So, like, that's what I think. I feel as though that certain laws could be changed, but ain't none of this gonna happen unless we get united. So, and all we can do is just speak and bring awareness to it.
Right.
So, I just really wanted to, speak on it. I was hoping I had more men on the panel, but I see I got females on here. It's us females. So I know I'm gonna definitely do a part 2 so I can get the males' perspectives. All males. And Young Riaz, you're welcome on that panel.
Thank you.
Right.
And people out there, Young Riaz, if y'all can help Young Riaz get on panels that, that are not involved in beef, I would really appreciate it. Angel's doing it, help bring awareness to autism. Because he can handle certain things, but he can't handle certain things.
Right.
Yep, that's true.
I highly appreciate those that are helping Young Riaz. So thank y'all so much for that.
So you said Young Riaz have a page too, Riders?
Yeah. He has his own little page. We got him to start it. So he can spend time on his own page.
Tell him I will be over there subscribing to him.
Yeah. Who has the link?
Speak
Who
up.
has this link?